Hi folks, welcome to another Fenland angling adventure. Today I'm fishing just outside Cambridge. I'm after perch and chub on the old drop shot. It's Sunday the 22nd of November, about 9:45 in the morning. I've been here about an hour and I've had a couple of perch already. So let's hope for something bigger. It's a nice day. Lovely. And that's not a bad sized perch. I've had about 5 so far, but this is the biggest so far. Back you go. Oop, I've just walked upriver about a quarter of a mile and just caught this close in. Nice fish. And another one, nearly a pound that one, beautiful fish. Another one. Another nice little perch. Right, I just missed a couple of good bites on lunch and meat. Then I caught this little chub. Not bad little fish. Probably just over a pound, pound and a quarter. But it's nice to get a chub. Well pleased with that. There you go. See if I can get another one. Well, it's getting late now, about 5 o'clock I suppose. I've just finished up with a nice little chub. About, if I can pick him up, about £2, 2.5 maybe. Took the bait down deep. Greedy little thing. But we got the hook out okay. Put it back, maybe one more cast. Lovely chubbly. Right, it's 2 days after my last trip and I'm back in the same spot again after another chub or two. When I was fishing here the other day, I started off on the drop shot method and caught more perch, and then went on to more of a ledger system and caught a couple of chub. So I'm going to do that ledger method from the start this morning, see if I can get straight into some chub. And if they're there, you normally get some action within a few seconds or a few minutes of casting your first cast in. So let's see how it goes. It's a nice day. First cast. Well folks, I've been here a few hours and it's really poor today. I've started in this swim, gave it an hour, then went walkabout for a while, tried a couple of other swims, caught nothing. So I've come back to the first swim, I've caught a little perch but nothing on lunch and meat, no chub, nothing. No bites or nothing really. Getting a few little bites on worm but not great. So I'm hoping maybe if I can hang it out till the sun goes down, I might get into a chub or two then, like I did the other night. But it's a long wait. Is it worth it? Maybe I should try a couple of other swims for perch as well and then come back here. But I feel like staying here. We'll see anyway. I'll think about it. Well, I've just moved up to where I was the other day when I was catching the perch. I've started catching a few and this is the best one so far. I did lose quite a good one earlier, which I think was quite a bit bigger than this. Hopefully we can get some more. So put you back. Thank you. Just have a look at my rig. So just a 7-foot drop shot rod and reel, tiny reel. Got a little lead on the bottom there, about ½ ounce, tied onto a loop. So, and then coming away from the main line is about 1 inch of line with a hook on it. I don't tie my hook directly to the line, I have it on a little paternoster. Seem to hit more bites, so I'll show you later how I make this rig up. And another one. Ooh, that's a nice perch. Beautiful condition, look at that. Pity went a couple of pounds bigger though. Well, I'm back in my first swim for the last hour or two. Last hour of daylight, first hour of darkness. Chub time. Caught 2 here on Sunday, so I just had a little bite on lunch and meat, so signs are good hopefully. I'll catch a chub or 2 before I go home. I'd like a decent size one, but that's being greedy. He's hoping anyway. Oh, a bit of persistence has paid off. It's about 5 o'clock now. There's a couple of bites on the lunch meat. Just caught this nice chub, hope you can see it in the dark. 2 ounces under £4. Wonderful. I'll have one more cast, see if we can get another one. Ooh, I'll put you back. Get in there. There you go. Ready to go back. Off you go, thank you chub. Right folks, that's the end of another Fenland angling adventure. It's kind of like a double video of me perch and chub fishing just outside Cambridge on the drop shot rod. I used 2 methods but just the one rod. I just wanted to travel light, so I just took the one rod and used it for both methods. So for the perch I was actually using a drop shot method, and for the chub I was using just a normal sort of ledger setup, but I'll show you those in a little while. So it wasn't a bad couple of days anyway. Caught some pretty nice perch, nothing massive but plenty of nice fish. Nice to get some chub again. I haven't caught chub for about a year or 2, so it's nice to get those 3 chub, and especially that one late on just earlier today. It really was late, a late goal, as they say. Last knockings, that chub, to get it in the dark. It was just under £4, 2 ounces under £4, and it proved to be my last fish, but it was well worth waiting for. Thanks if you've subscribed to my channel, I really appreciate that, thank you very much, and I hope you've liked this video. Please give it the thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and now it's time for rod tips. Right folks, I'm going to quickly go through my rigs which I used on these 2 trips where I caught perch and chub. Both on the same rod, on a little 8-foot drop shot rod, but 2 slightly different rigs. I'm not going to go into too much detail as regards to tackle and bait, just the rigs. So first I'm going to show you my version of a drop shot rig. Right folks, so first I'm going to show you my drop shot rig. So I want to travel light, so I want to just take one rod and use 2 methods, so I can use both on the same rod. The rod is loaded with, or the reel's loaded with, about 10-pound braid, which I use for drop shot fishing for sensitivity. So when I come to using the rod for ledgering, I just keep the same spool on and have braided mainline and mono hook lengths. I'm using this today to show you, so I can show you my rigs, just so you can see it more clearly. So this is my line and there's my size 6 hook. Right, so first of all I'd tie a loop in my braided mainline. So if this was my mainline, tie a loop in the end, so that's just obviously just double it over and then tie a knot, overhand knot, go through twice, there's your loop. So this is the end of your main line, and your rig will go onto that loop to loop. Right, so everyone knows how to tie a loop, so this is only aimed at total novices, this bit. There's your loop in your main line. And now I'll show you the rig itself, the mono rig. So if I can get this undone, you'll have to bear with me, chaps. I find this very fiddly. 2 years ago I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and my symptoms are much stronger in the evening, and I find simple things like this a struggle sometimes. But anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. So now this is my mono hook length. Cut plenty, so you can always cut it down afterwards. Tie your hook on first. I always use a 4-turn grinner knot, I think that's what it's called, or 4-turn water knot, I don't know, it's got so many names. So go through the eye, like so, back up, over, and this tag end wants to go around those two bits of line 4 times, going back down the line. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your knot for your hook. Wet it, slide it down, obviously. Oh, I hope your eyes on your hooks. Don't do that. There you go. So there's your hook. Cut that off. And then, so I'm going to leave that because I just don't want to cut this cord, so I'm going to leave that, but you'd cut that off obviously. Now I want to tie a big loop in my line, about 12 inches or more, 15 inches maybe, a loop. I want to tie the loop like that. So fold that over, hold the 2 bits of line there, keep them tight, and then you want to tie a knot in this. Overhand knot, go through twice again, like you did the loop on the main line. And when you pull it tight, that bit there with the hook, this little paternoster that I'm creating, wants to be about 1 inch long, so don't come too far away from it. I've got a bit there that's not pulled up tight. That's a little bit longer than I'd want, but this is just for demonstration. So when you come to do your mono, this bit here wants to be about 1 inch long, so try and get that knot further this way, which would then shorten that. That's come a bit long, but it doesn't matter. And then up here you tie another loop, another 15 inches up, tie another loop which goes onto your main line, loop to loop, go through twice, there's your loop. So your rig would look like that. Loop at the top, main line, little 1 inch paternoster with your hook on, and then a big loop. And then you just put your worm on and work it, baby. Work that hook. and you'll catch loads of perch like that. The traditional drop shot method has the hook fixed to the line, the main line, like so, but I want it on a little 1-inch piece. It's just the way I fish. I came up with the idea a while back, and I seem to connect with more bites, believe it or not, than the traditional method. I'm not knocking the method, the traditional one, but it just suits me. And you can have like a drop shot weight on here if you want, but I don't like them either. So I just use a small 1/2 ounce lead and put the loop through the eye of the lead and have it fixed like so. So there, that would be my rig. Obviously not, I wouldn't use that lead, that's a bit heavier, just a 1/2 ounce or maybe smaller, just enough to hold bottom. And that's my little drop shot rig that I used for catching perch, because they like to feed just off the bottom usually, or near the bottom. And by altering the angle of the rod, you can bring it nearer the bottom, so you can bounce it off the bottom or fish up in the water a little bit. So that's the rig that the perch liked. And now I'm just going to show you the one I use for the chub, which is just a ledger, basic ledger setup. Nothing complicated there. But I've got to undo this knot. So I'll just undo this and then I'll get back to you. Right, so here is one I've already made up. That's 6-pound mono. There's your loop that goes onto your main line. Follow it down, there's your 1-inch little paternoster with a size 6 hook on, maybe a bit longer than 1 inch. And then another 10 inches to 15 inches if you want loop. That's a big loop with my little 1/2 ounce lead on the end. So that's my drop shot rig that I use. Give it a try, folks. I tell you, I hit a lot of bites with this where I've missed quite a lot using other methods. So try it and please let me know how you get on. I'd love to know. As for the ledger rig, well, that's just quick and simple really. If this was the main line, this time we'll say this is the braided main line. So once again, tie your loop at the end, and your mono rig will have a loop on, which is just a straight piece of mono. Hook one end, loop the other, so loop to loop. And then up here, cut your tag off obviously. Up here as you come about another foot, and then tie another loop. Overhand knot, go through twice again. Actually no, I'll do this one 3 times, I think, this one. Make it big. I'll go around 3 times, because this could straighten out theoretically if you don't do it. If you only do it once or twice and don't do it tight enough, it can straighten out, I think. So I'll go through 3 times with that one. So that would be like that, with a lead on there, a little lead, 1/2 ounce lead. Or a feeder if you want. I tend not to use a feeder when chub fishing because it makes a lot of noise. Just a tiny little lead, 2/3 of an ounce or something. So this would be your braided main line. That's normally a 2-inch loop or 3-inch loop. And then, like I say, your mono hook length will be on there however long you want it. And that's that. But I'll go through 3 times on that knot, because if you had a heavy fish on there and pulled that really tight and that wasn't sufficient that knot, it would straighten out, the loop would disappear. So I'll go through 3 times on that one. Wet all your knots, pull them nice and tight. Goes without saying really, doesn't it? So then my 2 rigs for chub and perch. One's drop shot for perch and just ledger for the chub. Some people have the lead running up the line on the ledger, which you can do, and just have a little stop in front of it, but I seem to get more tangles when I have a running lead. I like to fix it on a little loop. That's just me personally. Everyone to their own. So thanks for watching my rigs, and that is the end of rod tips. Thank you. Right folks, so I showed you a couple of methods there which I use for catching perch and chub. Like I said earlier, I didn't really dwell too much on tackle and bait. I find that's not really too important. I think people ask too many questions. What make rod? What make reel? What size hook? What colour maggots? What sort of hook length? What this? What that? It's not really important. I would say that in my eyes, 70 or 80% of catching a fish is right place, right time. The rest of it is just is down to you. It's not the rod that catches the fish. It's not the reel that catches the fish. It's not even the bait that catches the fish. It's you that catches the fish, using all your knowledge and different methods and guile and watercraft and taking on things that you've learned from other people, local knowledge and stuff like that. That's how I feel anyway. It's a bit like the end of King Kong. Did the aeroplanes kill the beast? Or did the pilots kill the beast? No. Was beauty killed the beast? If you understood that, please message me, because I haven't got a clue. Thanks for watching folks. I'll see you on the next trip.